Hey folks, this is Marsilio with another quick market take. So last week had a good amount right, not totally perfect. Last video said I thought easy money on rally had been made. Not quite right due to another ramp, but I did tweet out midweek, of course, everything moving on NVIDIA. And I did use a kind of speculative timing technique that pointed to another massive blowout. Went with that, tweeted that out, and one thing I did get right was that I was expecting Tuesday, Wednesday pullback, and got that. So buying that dip, hugely profitable if you got tech or better semiconductors. So what is ahead? I have people asking me, where is the top? And I think this is the wrong question. I'm bullish. This is a massive bull market. I don't think we have a real top of significance until much later in the year. And maybe the fourth quarter. I haven't really started thinking about the fourth quarter, but at least April, May, June, I'm going to be bullish. And this is just a massive bull market. Here is Japan, and probably not everybody's looking at this stuff. This is the Nikkei, and it's clearing the highs made in late 89, 90, just this month. So that's just massive. German DAX, new highs, all-time highs the last 3 months. India is making new highs for months and months after month. And China was the weak link. They had it coming to them with their policies, but even then, recently getting off of lows, and there could be more to go here. So, in a bull market, I used to do this too. Where's the top? Where's the top? But actually, what is the more important question is how do I make the most money in this bull market? And that means what's going up. So it takes rotating into the winners, but that doesn't mean chasing. If you're buying NVIDIA on Thursday, that's not the way to do it either. So, but it's a matter of spotting setups that are in early, I don't try and pick off the lows, but early enough stages, and then capture the gains on the way up. So, one of the reasons why I did say easy money had been made is that sentiment is getting a little toppy. And by that, I mean put call. If the Zoom screen will get out of the way here, I can rotate to that. Let's see. Yeah. So this is a put call that I use quite a lot. So I'm going to say a little bit about tops. In the past, last year, and many other times when I made a call for a significant turn, often there are a few things in play. The asset class is up against yearly pivot levels of some kind. That there's other technical indicators or market disparities indicating a possible turn. Sentiment is getting a little out of hand, and there's a timing component. So when all these things come together, I think then you got a case for a possible turn. And so there are a few things in play, but given my timing view and given everything else that's going on, I think this is a pause at most. I don't think we're due for a serious pullback quite yet. I'm especially bullish into April, May, maybe even June. So I'm not really thinking about that. But here are the levels that I'm watching. And also I want to highlight something going on in the VIX. So interestingly, S&P is up against its yearly R1 tagged on Friday, right about 51.08 there, 51.10. That was near the exact high on Friday. And this is happening as Bitcoin has been stuck under its yearly R1. 52,700 have been tweeting about that for a while. But Ethereum is making the decision. Ethereum blasting off above 3,000, hugely bullish for cryptos. So I think Bitcoin, clearing that and breaking out also is a matter of time. So not too worried about it. Also on the weekly chart, which I'm not bringing up quite yet, Bitcoin really just looks like a pause and not any significant turn. That said, the sentiment is getting a little toppy here. Here's a weekly put call chart. when this level is down here at the lows, it means everyone's buying calls and it's getting a little too frothy, and have to bracket the QE infinity stay-at-home options trading bubble that was 2020 through 2021, because that's the conditions were not happening. Obviously, the Fed is not boosting the market, and everyone's not working from home with nothing better to do than to day trade options. So it is getting down there, and that is one of the reasons why I said, okay, we are getting a little frothy, and at some point there's a fear that refreshes. Here's a daily chart, same information. This is where we are now, or recently was. Now, does this guarantee a top? No. And has it gone lower? Yes, especially in other years. But it's on the low side. We can't say the market is very afraid. The last time it was very afraid was early October, and look at that. That was a fantastic buy. And right as a lot of technicals were indicating, rally was in early stages. I didn't catch the exact stock low. I caught the bond low, but it didn't matter. If you position right a few days after the exact low, it's still massive if you bought the right things and held. So in any case, pointing out that sentiment is a little frothy. Again, not extremely so, but could be enough. S&P and Bitcoin are both on their yearly R1s. There are other signs of exhaust, the kind of toppy levels being tagged. But so the question is it just going to blast through? Is it going to have a mild consolidation and then power up, or is it going to be sharp pullback? I favor the middle one. I think, yeah, we could have another 1-2 day bear wonder, or a couple weeks of pause, or a couple days of pause, but I think it's going to get through it. Why? Well, now I turn into some of my timing work, and I'm going to explain this with no astrolingo whatsoever. These bars divide up ES 15-minute average returns into about 2.5 day chunks. So the actual results are each 15-minute bar on a percentage basis, and each bar represents a 2.5 day approximately segment of a month. And looking at data actually from both the bear market low in October 2022 and the more recent low, October 2023, and this portion has been the strongest throughout. Now, data chops around, it can vary for sure, but it's been the power up, and also you'll see several signs after that, not any negative results. And then this is different because we had more of a drop, more bear market environment with more declines if we go about all the way back to 2022, but still 3 of the top segments on the way, and in the recent environment, power stretch. And so that's coming to play on Thursday. Could we have another midweek pullback? Yeah, I kind of prefer that, even though this pattern seems to be getting a little bit repetitive. But here's the data on just this year, where the selling is happening and where the buying is happening. Whoops, I got to expand that date due to Thursday ramp. Now it's taken over. A good example of how the data changes. And we're seeing a lot of selling on Tuesday. I kind of would like to see a drop. The small wiggles are just not spending too much time on it. I want to know where the biggest setups are. And I'm using technicals for entry management and exit. So, but I use timing for sizing, and that's where I want to employ, and not try and predict every single wiggle in advance. It's kind of, to me, just not quite the right emphasis. I want to position the right way given what the market is doing and given my timing bias. So what setups do I like ahead? There are a lot of, I'm a trend trader. There's not a lot of new trend setups happening right now. But, the other thing I wanted to mention is, before we get even into that, VIX, fuels on VIX. VIX just nearly tagged its yearly pivot, did not close above. That was a signal that, it wasn't serious trouble. So if it was going to be serious, it would have hung up above the yearly pivot and blasted higher. And then we had a kind of a test of the quarterly and half-year pivot just earlier this week, and then boom, VIX is below all pivots, not quite below all moving averages, but I really think the VIX does often sniff out pullbacks before they happen. It's the smart money hedging. And but VIX below 14, bulls in charge. End of story. Not really interested in playing short side with VIX under 14. If that changes on Monday, and we get a big drop in Apple, Tesla, whatever other tech names aren't working, okay. But right now, VIX below 14, bulls in charge. So what setups do I like? New setups, like I said, due to the rally being up so much, I don't really want to do a lot of counter trend trading, especially with VIX under 14. But and I'm not seeing a lot of new trend. But in terms of timing and technicals combination, here are my favorites coming into this week. This I got, oops, I've got to get the right workspace. So this is something, one people I follow. I don't follow a lot of people, but somebody who's been totally killing it, Shardy on Twitter, she's been mentioning this a lot. And this to me is on the verge of a great looking setup. And I actually did enter regardless. So why is this a good setup? Recently held all pivots down here at the low, above all pivots. The tweaked MACD that I use is going positive, but there is this important yearly level right in the way. I think it's going to clear. So I did take a position expecting it to clear, expecting to have minor selling. Hopefully that was the right idea, because if I didn't like the timing, I would have waited, but I do like the timing, and I think this could go. So that's MSOS. It's a cannabis ETF. And then I'm not usually into this, but she has been on fire, and I do like this technical setup, and I do like the timing component as well. The other thing that I like for the week ahead is biotechs. I don't have time to go through all the individual names, but these are also at highs, and given the timing in play, could jet. So this is already breaking out. The XBI, the IBB, I believe, is the smaller companies could play catch up, and any breakout. So this is also a MACD that just started, above all pivots one day, a couple days below, held the 50 MA, above all pivots Thursday. So yeah, if this gets going, there's a lot of room to move. So I like these basic ideas, the MSOS and biotechs in general. Pick one, for a short-term play. Could you be short Apple here? I mean, it is a curious market that tech is at highs and so many things are at highs, and Apple is below its daily 200. But I don't think it's going to be a big drop. It depends on your time frame. As an investment, it's curious that Apple and Tesla are not participating in the rally, but this is not where the big money's made in a bull market, trying to short. So, couple day play, small position only, stuff like that. So the only other thing I want to point out is that I put the returns by weekday for indexes on a public Twitter. A public profile on my Tableau Public. So you can, just going to go through this just a little bit. Not cryptos yet. Cryptos have a different calendar due to the weekends, but you can select any of these indexes. S&P, Dow, NASDAQ, Russell, oil, gold, bonds, 30-year bond futures, dollar, VIX. You can select any year a date going back to 2000. And if the slider is too much of a hassle, you can just click into the date field. And this will tell you, they tend to go in streaks. Now, the data will show that it's never 100%, but look at Thursdays from this year, bought. And look at Tuesdays, a couple of the big drops. Wednesday's kind of mixed. So, nothing is 100%. But if you're curious, you can check this out. And then kind of nifty idea, if you want to see like one day in detail, you just click here, and then this will just show that day. And we can, let's see, I think... if this does not work, I'm gonna fix it. Yeah, looks like I got something to fix on here, because this should show more bars. I gotta tweet. I think, okay, it's because this filter is controlling it. So if you're not seeing all the bars, just slide the filter back and you'll see, there it is. Yeah, so you'll see you can select the number of days you want to, it starts from the most recent, goes back. So you can go up to 50, which is, about a year. You want to see a year's worth of Tuesdays, you go like that. And that'll give you all the Tuesdays you can see in some of the bear market or the more pressured environments. There's a lot of selling on Tuesday. So anyway, hope you have fun with that. I'll get one up for cryptos in the near future. And lastly, I will tweet out best timing edges for the week and some of the things I mentioned in the video. And I'll work on a crypto version as well. I'm going to be adding things to my database on that. So that's it. Good luck. Have a great week.